Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of E46 Turbo Build. Today I'm waiting for my bigger injectors to come. I've got 1000cc injectors coming. That's a lot bigger than the 440s I'm running right now. Once I put them in, I'll be able to run way more boost. But right now, my serpentine belt is like starting to fall apart. It's actually, half of it is like actually come off. You probably can't see it from there, but basically half the width of what it used to be. So I've got a new belt here to put in, and also I'm getting a bit of blue smoke coming out the exhaust, actually a lot. So I think the turbo is getting too much oil through it. I've got this oil fitting here which I'm going to put on the turbo to make it so it restricts the oil a little bit, so not as much oil goes through. So I don't know if you can see, but this is the old restrictor and this is the new restrictor. Well, this one actually isn't a restrictor, it's just a full size fitting. Yeet. This one has a 1.5mm restrictor in it, so hopefully not as much oil is going to go through the turbo now. What I have to do is take the thermo fan out so I can get the belt off, and there's a tensioner which you have to push on with a socket and it loosens the belt so you can pull it off, and then I'll just have to chuck the new one on, and then I can start putting the injectors in because they just arrived just then, so I'll open them once I've got the belt on.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up.
It's actually cheaper to get 8 rather than 6. I don't know why. 1000cc. Injectors in, and now I'm going to get the laptop out and start tuning to the new injectors. So I'm going to have to bring the fuel percentages down because the injectors are bigger and they flow more. So let's get the laptop and get in the car and start tuning. I'm just going to do some quick tuning before I get in the car and do some runs. So this is the AEM software which comes with the piggyback. So what you want to do is, when you first start, open up your fuel maps, which is this one here, right click, and then go create base fuel map. And then in here you put your stock injector size and your new injector size, and then your max RPM of your car, and then the max boost you want to run. So here it says PSIA. That's not actually boost PSI, it's absolute pressure. So this would be 5 PSI. So whatever boost you want to run, add 15 to it, and that's what you should put in. So if I want to run 20 PSI, I add 15 to it, so I put 35 in there. And then I've already done this, but just click OK and it'll make a base map, which is what I've done here. The only things I've changed is I've just added a little bit more fuel in up top. So what you do is you highlight the top row, set the value to a higher value, which means it inputs more fuel, and then you click an area where you want to start adding more fuel in, you highlight, and then you right click and you click calculate, and it'll calculate it evenly across as it's going up the boost. So the boost is on this side and the RPMs are on the top here going across. The other thing you will need is the ignition table. So a safe formula for timing is retard the timing by 1 degree, so take 1 out per PSI boost. If you don't know anything about timing, you probably should do your research before doing any of this. And then you just plug it into the car and then press the connect button and you should be connected, and it should update live while adjusting these values. So I'm going to give this a go and get in the car and do some runs and see how it goes. So if you can see down there, that blue thing down there, that's my wastegate, and it's got a spring in it and it makes the wastegate open at about 7 psi, so the turbo doesn't keep spooling like as hard as it can. And what I've got here is a boost controller, so if I turn this, it's connected to the wastegate. It actually allows it to open up later, so you can go like a full rotation is 1 psi, so like 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever you want to run. But unfortunately, when you wind it all the way out, it still won't go over 13 psi. So I've put a stiffer spring in the wastegate. So I haven't tried it yet, but now I'm going to turn it all the way down and just see what boost I'm running. It should be, I'm guessing, about 11 or 12, and then I'll be able to wind it up to about 20, hopefully. I think it should be about 11 psi right now. I'm going to pull into the main road and give it a pull and watch the gauge. That was 10 psi there and the gate was open. So I think I'm about right with 11, 10, 11. I'm going to start the logger and do a run as soon as there's no cars. So I'm opening the log here to see what boost I ran and what air fuel ratios I was running. So I went through the logs, and on that pull I did then, the air fuel ratios were pretty rich, running in the 10.5 area. I just put the boost up to 17, and I was running 12 before. And then I just heard this massive poof, and then I look and the intercooler piping's popped off.
Oh shit.
It's fine, you just put it back on.
Yeah.
I just didn't have it on tight enough. It was like poof.
Oh my god! Wow!
I was like, what the fuck?
Was that just like all the air? Just
Yeah.
like boosting out of it? Yeah.
I thought it was like the engine blew or something. I was shitting myself. But
Yeah, no, that's why I just reacted like that quickly.
Yeah.
Oh. That's funny.
Yeah. I could just put it on tighter. So I'm still getting the issue where it's misfiring above like 14, 15 psi. So I've just got new spark plugs. They're actually single prong spark plugs. So a friend told me to try them out, so I'm going to see how they go, and if it's still kind of misfiring a bit at high boost, I'm going to gap the spark plugs, which means reduce the gap of the prong to the electrode. Because when you're running high boost, it can blow the spark out and cause misfires, so reducing the gap will prevent that. We're at 20 psi, and we just went for a run, and it was running really good. The timing was running at 23 degrees advance. It's a little bit high for what I want, so I just brought it down a little bit to like 21, 22 degrees timing, which is a good timing to run for E85. If you're running pump fuel, you want to be like around 18, 19, just to prevent pre-detonation and your engine blowing up. So the run was good, the air fuel ratios were good also, and it was a little bit lean, so I've put a bit more fuel in up top. And we're going to go for another run now and see how it goes with the air fuel ratios, and once we get it good, I should be booking in a dyno pretty soon, and also going to have to race my mate with the blue M4 that you saw in the last video and see how I come up against him now, because I was running 12 psi then and now I'm running 20, so I'd say I'd be maybe able to beat him, so we'll have to see. But yeah, we're going to go for another run now and see how it goes. I was concentrating on looking at the air fuel ratios the whole time.
Running the air fuel ratios right now.